The path to the finals runs through OKC. The Thunder beat the Clippers and clinched the top seed. The Spurs keep her own without Wemby, and triple doubles for Nikola Jokic and Jericho Sims. A lot coming on today's Locked On NBA Game Night.
When that final buzzer rings, you know it's time for Locked On NBA Game Night. All the post-game reactions to every game across the league, every single night, with insights only the hosts at Locked On can provide. It's the true NBA fans' one stop for all the action. Every game, every night. It's Locked On NBA Game Night. Tipping off now.
What's up, everybody? Hello, it's April 9th, and welcome to Locked On NBA Game Night, where we talk about the latest and greatest from around the association on the court from the night before. April 8th, officially, the top seed in the West and the NBA is secured. Shocker, it's the Oklahoma City Thunder. The Spurs are really, really good. Nikola Jokic had another triple-double, and so did, yes, I said this in the intro, Jericho Sims of the Milwaukee Bucks. So much to get to today as teams are finally locking up their seeding. The Suns have completed their destiny as the 17 as they have been the entire season. I'm Tony East. I host Locked On Pacers, and a new one this week. We've done this many times together. It's John Karalis from Locked On Celtics, who will be the 2 seed in the East if things continue to trend as they have. John, any shock as the Thunder beat the Clippers by 18, and Shai continues his 20-point streak with exactly 20 as the Thunder just keep rolling.
Shocking that he gets exactly 20. No, man, this is perfect. This is exactly what we expected, right? 64 wins, though. You know,
crazy.
64 wins is so many wins. It's a lot of wins. They're so good. To see two teams to get up over 60, Pistons knocking on the door. It's fun. It's fun thing to see at the top of the standings.
Indeed it is. It was interesting because there was the topic of, are they going to beat the Warriors record? And then they stumbled and people thought, oh, maybe they're not the favorites. And they could still win 66 games. They stumbled this season and could still win that many. They just buzzsawed the Clippers. Chet Holmgren was spectacular in this game. 14 rebounds and 30 points for him. And I think that's a key element to their playoff level being as high as it is, or potentially higher than last year. Is I covered the finals last year in person, and Chet was flimsy at times, right? He hadn't quite hit the level they needed him to as an offensive buzzsaw. And he is still mostly a play finisher, but that's just an extra element to have, is that he's added actually a little bit of creation and has a little bit of wiggle when he's run off the three-point line in a way that makes him just so threatening and could give the Thunder another level. The Clippers largely did pretty well in a lot of other things in this game, but Chet just killed them.
Yeah, look, Chet is that third heat going back to the old 30 Rock days, man. You get the obviously Shai, Jalen Williams getting himself back up to speed. When you get Chet makes them, when he's playing like this, just completely unbeatable. There's no way you're going to get past OKC when Chet's doing all of this and blocking 4 shots. It's not just it's not just that he can give you 30 and 14 and also 5 assists. He also gets those 4 blocks, 2 steals. Games like this, it makes OKC kind of unfair. It makes it hard to pick against them when you're looking ahead here in the playoffs.
Yeah, nothing terrible for the Clippers. Decent shooting percentages, actually kept the turnovers manageable against the Thunder, but the Thunder are just better than them, right? Is there anything else to say about that? And I feel that it's the most boring analysis ever. I hate when I do that when the Pacers lose because they're awful right now, let's face it. But when you play the Thunder, sometimes this happens. And the Clippers want to win this game a great deal. They don't want to send their lottery pick to the Thunder. It's a very low % chance. The league doesn't want that to happen. So they're going all out. Kawhi was great with 20 as he usually is. It's a little substandard for him, I suppose. Kobe Sanders was great off the bench, but they didn't even play that awful. The Thunder are just that much better than them.
No, look, you shot 44% from 3. You put up 31 in the third, 30 in the fourth. You did things you need to do, but you still end up losing by 18. Some teams are just inevitable. And some games it's just inevitable that when the Thunder are playing like this, like I said, when Chet's playing like this, when Shai's just being okay at 2011. You're right. You're right. There's the Clippers have those flaws. The Clippers, most teams have those, one or two guys. The Thunder don't. When they have it all working together like this, it's going to take an absolutely perfect game. Like, you can't turn the ball over 13 times and expect to win. You have to shoot. You have to hit 23s. You can't just be 14 of 32. You have to be perfect.
You want to be perfect against the Spurs too, John, because they keep finding ways, man. They don't have that tall French guy. I don't know if you heard. He's hurt. He got hit in the ribs. And they are hosting the Portland Trail Blazers, who are playing for everything. They do not want to be in the end of the plan. I don't know about you, John. I would not want to play Steph Curry in a do-or-die go-home playing game, and that's where the Blazers are potentially headed. And they're playing the Spurs. They get a gift without Wembanyama, and they lose. And they score 101 points. And this has been the Spurs thing that has just made me think, like, what much more of a believer in them than I was at times earlier in the season, even though I questioned them on the show a little bit last week. Is just like, their defense and their guards are so legit. Like, as much crap as Fox gets at times for his ceiling raising, his defense is very good for a high-level creator. Dylan Harper has such downhill force, right? They just get so much from those guys, and they guard their butts off. Like, it's such a miserable experience to play against the Spurs.
I like the way you put that. They're so fast. They're quick. It's not just up and down speed. It's hand speed. It's change of direction speed.
Yes.
They are a great combination of skill and effort. They're a very high effort team for a team as good as they are. And it's what makes them a 60 plus win team. It's not, they're young enough where everybody's still a try hard. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes when you have a level of talent, you can kind of relax a little bit, and maybe against the Portland team, well, we're not going to give it a full go. No, it's a full go. It's always a full go with the Spurs, no matter. And this is what they've survived so many games. Like, how many games? I've lost track of how many games Wembanyama has missed. He's at what, 17?
He's played 63 regular season of their 80, but 64 because they played the NBA Cup title game as well.
So, and they still won 61 games. So everybody's talking about Wemby as the MVP, rightfully so. I mean, he's a very legitimate, but they are still a 61 win team when he's missed all those games because of what you said with the guards. You turn around. We just talked about OKC. The same kind of thing. You turn around and all of a sudden it's like steal, break, and you were close. And now you're not close anymore.
16 turnovers for the Blazers. And you just can't do that. These guards are going to, all the faults you would think the Spurs would have with that Wemby and their half court offense. You know how you get around that? You just get in transition the whole freaking game. And that's not even like exactly how this game went, but that's what they're capable of.
Yeah, but look at that. But you have turnovers are basically even. 16 for Portland, 17 for San Antonio, except 26 points off of the turnovers for Portland and 19. So you have one turnover difference, but a 7-point difference in the points off of turnovers. That's the difference. Like, forcing the live ball turnovers and converting the live ball turnovers. That's the thing that separates the Spurs.
This game also exposes once again what everybody has known about the Blazers for a long time. Toumani Camara, good job. You can shoot threes. You've upped your volume. That's exciting. Everyone else is just like not enough as a shooter, right? They need more shooting. They were 12 for 37 in this game. So it's great that Denny can get downhill and draw a bunch of fouls, but like, their struggle to be efficient every night is real. And that really puts a ceiling on what their offense can be. Only 101 points. And we just talked about the turnovers, but they're clearly something. But I always feel like Portland against bad teams, they're going to clean up, right? They're going to look good. They're going to be annoying to play against because they just have a lot of like tough guys. But when they play good teams, they just don't even have close to enough offensive potency. And lo and behold, they lose by 11 in a game against a very shorthanded Spurs.
Yeah, I remain kind of confused by what the Blazers are going to be, because how much you're gonna get from Drew Holiday moving forward. Like, are you going to keep him? You're not going to build around Drew Holiday. It's been great that he's been there and he's helped out, but I don't know what the future for the Blazers is. Like, it's great that they've made this run. It's great that they've they didn't tank, for all the tanking in the NBA. It's great that they're what do you mean?
I'm unfamiliar with the topic, John.
It's yeah. No, what I mean, you guys had injuries. You're different. You
remember you and I talked about gap years coming into the year? I am unfamiliar with the topic, John. That's all I will say.
But yeah, the Portland's future is it can go so many different ways. There's so many decisions to be made. I don't know. I really don't know what to make of them, but here they are.
I would like to see them in a playoff series, I guess, just to see if they can see their failures on a bigger stage. But for what? Everybody knows they can't. Everyone knows they can't shoot. They need more dynamic guards. It is what it is. The Nuggets beat the Grizzlies, who stink. I mean, the Grizzlies had 8/9 if you count Taj Gibson available players, and Nikola Jokic had a triple-double. And the Pistons beat the Bucks. And again, this is cracking me up. Jericho Sims had a triple-double. So much coming up still here on Locked On NBA Game Night. But first, everybody, we very quickly have to talk about two great groups of people. First up is Wayfair. Way-Day is here. If you've been thinking about upgrading your space, this is the time to do it. We're talking about some of the best deals of the year on furniture, decor, and outdoor essentials. Everything you need to refresh your home during Way-Day. Wayfair is offering up to 80% off with fast and free shipping on everything, making it easy to find pieces that fit your style and budget. It's super easy to filter by style, by size, and by price, so you're not wasting your time scrolling. The reviews and photos are very helpful. They have verified products vetted by specialists, so you know you're getting quality. Whether it's upgrading a room, adding outdoor pieces, or just finding something that ties your space together, it makes the whole process simple from start to finish. Way-Day is the sale to shop the best deals in home. They're talking 80% off, fast and free shipping on everything. Head to wayfair.com April 25th through 27th to shop Way-Day. That's WAYFAIR.com. Wayfair, every style, every home. Let's also very quickly talk about Game Time. The regular season's winding down. The playoffs are coming. There is nothing like being in an NBA arena, the crowd, the energy, the moment. Getting tickets, though, it's not always so simple. That's why Game Time has become the go-to app for scoring tickets fast without the hassle. Puts the advantage back where it belongs, with the fans. You can pull up the Game Time app right now, pick an upcoming NBA game near you. You'll have tickets locked in within minutes. You can see the all-in price up front, no surprise fees. I love that. You can see the view from your seat in the arena before you get there. They have zone deals that'll help you save. They have great last-minute options, and everything feels quick, intuitive, and stress-free from start to finish. Take the guesswork out of buying NBA tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use the code LOCKEDON for $20 off your first purchase. That's code LOCKEDON for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. And remember, it's gametime.co, not .com. And we are back here on Locked On NBA Game Night. Thanks for making us your first listen today and every single day. Your second listen can be the Thunder, as Rylan Stiles talks to you about the lovely top seeded in the league Oklahoma City Thunder. Locked On Spurs for Matthew Van Tynen's take on the Spurs. And hey, check out the Everydayer Club here at Locked On, a new offering. You can get ad-free episodes of your favorite Locked On podcast. You can get access to a members-only Discord where I frequently drop in and talk to Pacers fans, for example, about things they want me to talk about on Locked On Pacers. You can join at lockedonpodcast.com/everydayer. The Nuggets have won a gazillion games in a row, John. Beating the Grizzlies is an extremely small feat. No one cares. The Grizzlies stink. They're playing guys that they just signed. Their bench is like, if you know some of these guys, congratulations. As NBA junkies, we both do, obviously. But this has been quite the surge for the Nuggets. And I think, honestly, the story, I mean, they won the game. We'll talk about the game, but they're third of the West. Like that is a significant climb for them and their potential path of avoiding OKC if they can hold it. We'll see how they prioritize their first-round opponent. But Jamal Murray was awesome. Jokic had a triple-double. Like, they're starting to look like the Nuggets everybody thought they could be, I think.
Yeah, getting a little healthier. I think Jokic, coming back from his injuries and all of that, he was obviously dominant before, and then a little bit of a lull. It kind of fell out of the MVP conversation. Remember when averaging a triple-double was a huge deal?
Guarantee.
Clinch, an absolute guarantee for MVP. Now it's like, oh yeah. Also, Nikola Jokic is good. I still think that the Nuggets are the second best team in the NBA and have the best chance to be the non-Thunder team that wins the title. You know how it goes with defending champions going out in the second round. So if that happens, I still think it's Denver. I still can't quit Jokic. I still can't quit this team. They're too good. He's too good. And I just feel like there's going to be a first round playoff series. It doesn't matter who they play, where Jokic is going to do his thing, and he won't be turning the ball over. That the people have been talking about, like the turnovers that's these transition turnovers are blah, blah, blah. No, it's going to be a first round series that Jokic is going to be a god, and people are going to go, oh, right. He is a god, and now I'm definitely afraid of Denver.
Yeah, I think you nailed the first thing. Being healthy and having the Gordon, Johnson, Jokic, Murray, Brown starting five is huge. That they've had actual time to get rhythm with that group heading into the postseason and having the rotation they thought they'd have for more of the season, not all of it. And so you wonder. One, I think the biggest thing that's happened is Cam Johnson looks like a real player again after being like a lemon for half the season, which is huge for them. He was 8 for 12 in this game and made 2 threes. And then also, I wonder how much that Jokic-less time will help them in the postseason, because the story for them for forever is how terrible they are when he goes to the bench. So we'll see. I wonder how much gaming they'll do with their seeding, because they should be, after the last couple of years, frightened of the Minnesota Timberwolves, who beat them, right? Whereas the Rockets and injured Lakers are not as scary. But playing the Spurs sounds ever so slightly more appealing than playing the Thunder. I wouldn't want to play either of those teams, if we're being honest. Also, I mean, no shade to these players. Congratulations to them. They made the NBA. Toby Okani played 33 minutes for the Memphis Grizzlies. Dariq Whitehead played 28 minutes. Lucas Williamson played 37, and Adama Ball played 39. They're so injured. They sign a new hardship player every day. They don't want to win. There's nothing to say about them. The fact that they scored 119 points, quite frankly, is impressive to me.
This is the season for just fringe, out of the league NBA guys to get random big minute opportunities.
No, it's not even big minutes. It's unconditional. Like, they could mess up over and over. And like, keep going. Keep running, baby. Matter.
Are you a marginal G League player? The Utah Jazz have 48 minutes for you. The Memphis Grizzlies have 42 minutes for you. It doesn't, it's, welcome to the league, buddy. Come here, get your numbers.
The other triple-double in the league that I have been teasing my butt off came in a loss, unfortunately, for the Milwaukee Bucks. They'll be happy that they lost. Jericho Sims had 11 points, 11 rebounds, and yes, Jericho Sims with 10 mighty assists for Milwaukee as they go to Detroit and get thumped by. The story of the game is not Jericho Sims. I just cannot get enough of the fact that he had a triple-double. The Cade Cunningham playing Detroit Pistons. Huge deal for them to get him on the floor, even if it's just like this. Play 20 to 26 minutes tonight. Get your feet under you. Get out there before the postseason. The Pistons score 137 points. If their offense is clicking in the postseason, they're going to be very hard to beat. And just from a human element perspective, great to see Cade playing again. And this is good, really good timing for them. They can actually get a few games of him before the season ends.
Yeah, I think one thing we're learning this season is how quickly you can come back from a collapsed lung.
Two times.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
But like you said, it's happy that Cade is able to play. Happy for the Pistons that they're able to get. We want to see what a healthy Pistons team can do. Detroit needs to see what a healthy Pistons team can do, because the whole point of the Pistons season this year is to get to the playoffs and to figure out what do you need. This isn't even about, to me, the Pistons going and winning a championship, which, hey, if they win it, great for them. They might, but it's about, okay, if you don't, why didn't we win a championship? Because you didn't make any significant moves throughout the season. You didn't do anything at the deadline specifically to keep your powder dry so you can figure out what do we need? Who is our playoff performer? We know Cade. Who is our other playoff performer? And then who isn't? And let's move on from that person and find another one who is. So for the Pistons' sake, they need to go in healthy so there isn't some question about, like, well, if this, if that could kind of screw up what the front office is looking to do. So it's good to see Cade, and it's good to see the Pistons starting to realize that.
Well, if they have to pay Durant a bunch of money this summer because he's amazing and he was very good in this game, they can always salary dump Isaiah Stewart and then just trade for Jericho Sims, who's the greatest backup center in the NBA. This is my team building solution for the Detroit Pistons. Yeah, I hope you're right.
Sims.
And for the sake of the Pistons, like good job last year. They made it to 6 games against the Knicks. They didn't win at home. They haven't won a home playoff game in like a decade and a half or whatever it is, 2 decades, right? So it's great for the city of Detroit that they will be able to do that. We did the standings things for the Thunder. I should have said this. The Spurs are locked into 2 now. Of note, the Spurs are at 61 wins. The Pistons are at 58. I believe that if there is a Pistons-Spurs final, it's secured that San Antonio now with their win will be the home game or the home team for that series. So the Pistons literally have nothing to play for the rest of the way besides like, Cade, go breathe. go run for 25 minutes and take some deep breaths. The Bucks stink. They want to lose.
It'd be like
Go ahead.
I was going to make the joke. It's going to be like a spring training game where they could go play. The rest of the Pistons go play basketball, and Cade could just do laps around the court.
Around the court. I mean, actually, that has like the equal benefit for them, and it's good they got one more feel-good win along the way. The Cavs win a game that I'm surprised they went as hard as they did. They looked awesome. The mighty Suns have secured their 7-seed fate, and of course, the Orlando Magic might be kind of back. That's all coming to close out today's Locked On NBA Game Night. But first, everybody, very quickly to talk to you about 2 great groups of people. First up is Indeed. Workplace chaos. Deadlines are stacking up. Your inbox is overflowing. The one position you have to fill, it's still sitting open. When the pressure's on and you need the right hire, this is a job for Indeed Sponsored Jobs who help you reach people who fit what you're looking for. The skills, the experience, the location. So you're not just hoping the right candidate stumbles across your post. And here is the stat that says it all. In the minute I've been talking to you right now, companies like yours will make 27 hires on Indeed, according to their data worldwide. So if you're hiring, spend less time searching and more time interviewing candidates who check all of your boxes. With Indeed Sponsored Jobs, less stress for you, less time for you, but more results. When you need the right person to cut through the chaos, this is a job for Indeed Sponsored Jobs. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to help get your job the premium status it deserves at Indeed.com/podcast. Just go to Indeed.com/podcast right now and support this podcast by saying you heard about it on Locked On NBA. Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Need to hire. This is a job for Indeed Sponsored Jobs. And also, this show is sponsored by BetterHelp. Financial stress is something a lot of people are carrying right now. It's not just about numbers. It can affect your sleep, your relationships, your overall mental health in ways that build up over time. And the reality is, struggling with money doesn't mean you failed. Sometimes it just means you haven't had the right kind of support. It's something that many people have thought about, how easy it is to put pressure on yourself financially without even really thinking about it. That stress comes with trying to figure everything out on your own, the expectations you feel to have everything together, how that pressure can spill over into other areas in your life is significant. And therapy isn't just about financial advice. It can help you with all the other stuff, working through the stress, the anxiety, and the emotions that come with it. With over 30,000 licensed therapists and more than 6 million people served, BetterHelp makes it easier to get matched and start focusing on what you need. When life feels overwhelming, therapy can help. Sign up and get 10% off at BetterHelp.com/LockedOnNBA. That's BetterHelp.com/LockedOnNBA. We're back here on Locked On NBA Game Night. Thanks for making us your first listen today and every single day. Go listen to Kuka Hill on Locked On Pistons talking about Cade Cunningham returning from a collapsed lung. We should have spent more time on that, but I got way too much mileage out of the Jericho Sims bit, John. I'm sorry. I cannot help it. Potential first-round series preview, although the Knicks keep stumbling and the Cavs keep winning in Cleveland as the Cavs beat the Hawks. I thought the Cavs might coast the rest of the way and be content with the 4 seed. They're now right there with the Knicks. It's crazy how jumbled the standings are everywhere in the league. Every game meant something tonight because there were no double tank games. But big for the Cavs to get this one. I just watched them kind of stink against the Pacers earlier this week. But Donovan Mitchell was awesome. He looked very spry. They had Jared Allen and Evan Mobley. They had basically the group they would think would be their starting 5. Max Strus coming off the bench. And they look quite good. And this is, who I think the Cavs should be 4th in terms of the equity of making the finals out of the East. But they at least look more threatening than I thought they would at times earlier this season, and they're finding a good time to at least look a little better than they have at times this season.
Yeah, I just still don't trust them.
You don't trust James Harden, John? What?
Somehow, magically, I'm the last guy that doesn't trust James Harden. I don't know how that happened. But yeah, it's been look, what I don't trust, honestly, is Evan Mobley. Like this was Evan Mobley at his absolute peak. Like I know what James Harden's going to do. I know he's going to disappear, but that's okay. You get Donovan Mitchell. You get Donovan Mitchell to score. Like I know going into a fourth quarter up 20 against the Cavs, and I'm just like, okay, just hold on and win by 4. And, just hit a couple of buckets to counteract Donovan Mitchell scoring 20 in the quarter because that's going to happen. So it doesn't even matter that James Harden is going to do what he does. Evan Mobley is the absolute key to this. When he plays like this and gives you 22 points and 19, was a career high 19 rebounds?
Yes.
When he plays like that, you're like, oh, okay, this is why. Yeah. This is why there is. But you don't get that. You will have 2-3 games where Mobley just looks kind of like pedestrian, like good, but not this. And so this Evan Mobley, he blocked 3 shots in this game too. This Evan Mobley, yeah, okay, yes, that now we can talk, but we don't see it often enough for me to trust the Cavs.
The Cavs are great at getting out of the first round, and this may be their first round opponent. They're not so good at the second round. So any sort of sight of a ceiling, that was a lot of sounds, is a good thing for them. Jalen Johnson really struggled, 4 for 16 in this game. Onyeka Okongwu minus 33. And Corey Kispert, 7 minutes played, John. Are you ready for this? 0 points, 0 shot attempts, 0 free throw attempts, 0 rebounds, 0 assists, 0 turnovers, 0 steals, 0 blocks, and 0 fouls. Good job, Corey Kispert. Danny Cunningham of Locked On Cavs was at this game.
Danny Cunningham here at Rocket Arena after the Cleveland Cavaliers get a 122-116 win over the Atlanta Hawks. Let's talk about this one for 94 feet. Well, this may as well have been a playoff dress rehearsal for the Cavs, considering they very well could see these same Atlanta Hawks just over a week from now when the playoffs begin in the first round in a 4-5 matchup, and it went about as well as they could have hoped. Donovan Mitchell was really, really good. He had 31 points on 19 shots, 12 to 19 from the floor. He was awesome the entire night. Evan Mobley had 22 points, 19 rebounds, easily the best big in this game. I think if the Cavs see the Hawks, that interior advantage the Cavs have with Mobley and Allen could be something that is a difference in this series. James Harden wasn't great, but he did have a solid second half, hit a few threes, brought the Cavs back from down by as many as 11 in the second quarter. They outscored Atlanta 44-20 in the third quarter. Created 8 turnovers in that quarter alone, did everything well offensively, did a lot well defensively. And I think after tonight, no matter if they play Atlanta, Toronto, somebody else in the first round, I think we saw a glimpse of who this Cavs team can be in the postseason, and there are a lot of reasons why they should be confident when that gets here. Now, they're back in action on Friday in Atlanta against the Hawks. No idea who's going to play in that game. I don't know that that one is going to be as competitive as this one is, but we will have to wait and see, and I will talk to you then.
I predict the Cavs will be a little less competitive version of themselves.
Probably.
John, my favorite storyline of the season, this is not my favorite thing, but I love it, is complete. The Phoenix Suns, not limp. They beat the Dallas Mavericks by 5. That's not that impressive. We don't have to go too in the weeds on this. Cooper Flagg was not as good as he's been in recent games. Fantastic Dillon Brooks and Devin Booker game. But my favorite part of this, the Suns with this victory and the Wolves victory last night on Tuesday, the Suns have secured the 7th seed for the play-in tournament. John, do you know the last date that the Suns were not the 7th seed in the Western Conference this season?
I don't.
They have been the 7th seed in the West since November 28th. Every single day, the Suns have woken up in 7th. That is unbelievable to me.
I don't believe that that's true.
It is.
It does. That doesn't even sound like a real stat.
They were tied with the Rockets a couple days in the middle of January. But boy, oh boy, have the Suns lived in 7th. And they only had like a 6-day stretch not being 7th in November when they jumped ahead of Minnesota for a second. It's just remarkable. They are the kings of the 7th seed. I hope they make the playoffs because it'd be fun to trade Kevin Durant and then make it. And they are potent-ish. Their defense is annoying to play against, a la the Spurs, but the Mavs are not a good way to prove anything right now. The Mavs are bad.
Yeah, no, and I think the obvious thing with the Suns is Dillon Brooks. When he scores, you get 28 points out of Dillon Brooks, then you get good Phoenix Suns. And if you don't get points out of Dillon Brooks, you're gonna struggle a little bit. And that's he has struggled, I think, a little bit recently, post injury and all of that, but. Yeah, these are the Dillon Brooks Suns, like the defense, the attitude, all of that stuff, and he's had his best offensive season. So, yeah, that's the difference maker for them.
I'm enjoying the return of Rookie of the Year debates, so I will not spend any time talking about Cooper Flagg, but I will tell you all he did not play particularly well in this game compared to some of the super nights he's been having recently. The Wolves rested a lot of guys in Orlando. Joe Ingles started and played 18 minutes. That's what you need to know about what they did. The Magic keep rolling after looking dead in the water. They're up to 44 wins. I believe they're in the top bracket of the play-in tournament now. We could talk a lot about this game, but we can hear from both hosts on this one. Philip Rossman-Reich was at this game for Locked On Magic.
This is Philip Rossman-Reich, the host of Locked On Magic here at the Kia Center as the Orlando Magic finished their 2025-26 regular season home schedule with a 132-120 victory over the Minnesota Timberwolves, just what the doctor ordered to get your fourth straight victory. You take on a team that's missing 4 of their 5 starters, and you beat them into a pulp. Orlando had the ball moving from the very beginning, 32 assists on 45 field goals, I believe. This is free and flowing as the offense has looked in a very, very long time. Everybody ate tonight. Paolo had 20. Franz Wagner had 17 in his limiting minutes. And the Magic just had this rollicking win where everything just seemed to work. They found their defense in the second quarter, as well as for good chunks of the third quarter, as they grew and expanded their lead to as much as, I believe, 24 points in this game. Obviously, the big news from this game was a scare in the third quarter. Early in the third quarter, when Franz Wagner went down with an apparent knee injury, everyone was fearing the worst, especially considering that is the knee or the leg that he injured previously with a high ankle sprain that caused him to miss 47 of 51 games. But Franz came back. He looked no worse for the wear. He was able to dunk the ball even. It ended up not being nothing more than a scare. Obviously, Orlando just trying to get by with these injuries. So for the first time since December 7th, the Magic had really their top 7 players available to them. They had Anthony Block back, of course, as well. And the Magic looked like that team once again. Again, the ball just moved so freely. Everything just seemed to work for Orlando. And to beat up a team that they frankly should beat up on without all the players that they're missing. Orlando now on a 4-game win streak. They pull just a half game ahead of the Philadelphia 76ers for 7th. They're a half game back of the Toronto Raptors for 6th, putting the pressure on everybody to keep up because the Magic are winning games that they need to win down the stretch.
Maybe they'll make the postseason field, which would be fun. When they're healthy, they're good, but they have just been so wildly inconsistent. More from Locked On Wolves on the who the heck played for the Wolves from Ben Beacon.
The Timberwolves fall to the Orlando Magic by 12 points on the second night of a back-to-back. I'm Ben Beacon, host of the daily Locked On Wolves podcast. And the Wolves came into this game basically locked into the 6th spot. They did clinch on Tuesday night with their win and the Phoenix Suns loss to Houston. The Wolves cannot fall into the play-in, so Wednesday's game didn't matter. If they'd won their last 3 games of the season and Houston had lost their last 3, they could have moved up to 5, but it was always going to be unlikely. So the Timberwolves went ahead and rested Mike Conley and Rudy Gobert. Ayo Dosunmu, Julius Randle also sat out with injuries that were listed. That meant a very short-handed Wolves team, although Jaden McDaniels came back and played after missing the last couple of weeks with the knee injury, and he had 18 points on 16 shots in just 19 minutes. TJ Shannon, though, with a career-high 33 points, 5 made threes. He was 6 of 7 on 2-point shots, 5 of 7 on threes, and was awesome for the Wolves. Unfortunately, though, a third-quarter run from Orlando put the game pretty much out of reach, and the Wolves ultimately lose this one by 12.
Just what the NBA needed, another team with no incentive to try, and that is Locked On NBA Game Night for the night of April 8th. Back tomorrow with 3 more nights of games this regular season, every night here on Locked On NBA Game Night. Thank you all for tuning in. We'll see you very soon.